Okay, guys, good morning. It's Monday, but we lost a day in our week. And so we're actually going to start with Sunday, and we're going to kind of do Sunday, Monday together so we can get caught back up. But as Sunday is not it's not a Sabbath day for the Jewish people. And so Sunday is more like Monday for us. And so he is traveling back to Jerusalem, and Jesus gets hungry. And along the way, he spots this fig tree. It's a really unique miracle that takes place here. But he sees a fig tree who has its leaves out, so it looks like it's in season. But when he gets up to it, he wants to satiate his hunger. He gets to it, and the way fig trees work is that they get their fruit first, and then the leaves grow out. And when the leaves get to that point, the fruit is typically ripe, and you should be able to eat it. Now, it was out of season, but the leaves look good. And what ends up happening is Jesus comes up to that tree, and when he doesn't find the fruit that the tree was expressing that it possessed, he curses the tree, and it died. Now, there's so many things that happen here. He says, let no one eat from you ever again. This is Mark 11. I believe this is a powerful and prophetic miracle about the state and condition of man. That when God sees us, he wants to see us being fruitful. But when he comes to us and he finds no fruit, we are already cursed. Later on in that same chapter, he arrives at the temple. And what he finds there is not purity of heart and worship, but he finds money changers, people that were selling doves. And these are specifically men who are using the temple and the ritual sacrifice, the practice of ritual sacrifice that everyone must engage in. They were using it as a way to take advantage of the poor, to take advantage of those who are traveling. And it was detestable to the heart of God that greed had taken the place of worship in the house of God. And this is where Jesus says, Luke 19:46, my house shall be a house of prayer. And this is the whole turning over the tables. He says, it's supposed to be a house of prayer, but you've made it a den of thieves. And so we see this side of Jesus that's big and powerful. I mean, he goes after these money changers. Money changers were known to be corrupt. They were rough people. And he just tells them how it is. And some people say here, well, this is Jesus being out of control. No, this is Jesus being full of zeal for the house of his Lord, for the house of his Father. At the same time, Jesus turns and he begins to heal all these children who continue to sing Hosanna to the Son of David. Now, again, it makes the Pharisees mad, so they tell Jesus to tell the kids to shut up. But Jesus refuses. He basically says, the children are fulfilling a prophecy concerning me. You can read about this in Matthew 21 and Mark 11 and Luke 19. And then he returns to Bethany for the night. Now that brings us back to Monday where we're getting caught up here. Then on Monday morning, when he's traveling Jerusalem, the disciples walk by and they see the fig tree. Now, this is what's interesting. Before Roundup, nothing died that quickly if it would look like it was somewhat healthy. I can spray Roundup on my weeds now and they'll die pretty quick, but it'll also give me cancer. But here's Jesus. He's walking by with the disciples, and they notice that fig tree is already dead. And so they're just kind of wide-eyed. What's going on here? Well, they're seeing another side of the power of Jesus. The power of Jesus to judge. The power of Jesus to pronounce that judgment, just as he did the day before he cursed the tree. Now they're seeing the results of that. He also pronounced a judgment in that temple. This is a very scary situation and time. I think the disciples were a little unnerved by all of this. Some of the Hellenist Jews that were in Jerusalem at this time, they also came to celebrate the feast. And they asked Philip if they could see him. They wanted a special meeting with Jesus. But when told of the request, Jesus says that the time had not yet come for him to be glorified. And so he denied it. He asks God the Father to glorify his name. And then this beautiful thing is a thunderous voice from heaven states that God can, has, and will again glorify his name. And now that the judgment of the world is in the prince of the world will be cast out. These are powerful things that are going on. And so then, just kind of wrap up Monday, Jesus leaves the city and he hides himself. He just takes some time to be away. as we think about what all this looks like, the power of God in those moments, the power of Christ to judge, yet knowing what's getting ready to come, what does that stir within you? What would have meant to you to hear him curse a tree one day and then see it dead the next, to see him throw the temple tables over, and then you would wonder what's next for these guys, but to also in the middle of all of that still be doing miracles for the lives of children. All of that is the heart of our God. You can go back and you can look in the weeks we've talked before, look at the notes of the things you studied, the weeks we've talked all before this. You can see all of this is the heart of God. He is not inconsistent. This is who he is. So think about those things. Take some time and pray about it. Journal. Spend some time doing that, and just see what God would speak to you as we continue to open our hearts and our minds as we head to this time